What's going on, guys? I know I've been gone for a while, and I was just taking some time to really reflect on where the Lord wanted me to take my content, my platforms, my business, the YouTube, and all of this stuff that I want to do. I wanted to really know where He was going to take me with it. And just to be transparent with you guys, a lot of the times procrastination kicks in and you start focusing on everything that is just impossible rather than the things that you can do. And this is something I struggled with in the past, but whenever it would be a struggle, I was able to pick myself up and start somewhere and eventually get back in my creative flow and start making content for you guys. But just recently I hadn't been able to do that. And so I've just been really reflecting on a lot of things. Those of you who've been with me from the start know I started putting myself out there a lot more when I was at university, but I've been married since then, had a child since then. So I've matured as a person. This is a whole new stage of my life. And so my creative process is different, and the things I want to speak on is different. The music I want to make is different. And this has really been something I've really been reflecting on recently. A lot of the times we want to do things the old way. And even if you take a break, you want to pick up where you left off, rather than adapting to how life is now. And by doing that, you can adapt your creative process. One thing that's really helped me recently is focusing on what I can realistically do. The practical steps I can take, no matter how big or small, in order to move forward. Because we've all got big dreams, right? But it's important for us to balance out those long-term visions with the steps that we can take today to step forward and improve our lives. I remember I was talking to someone about being frustrated about a few things, and it was me really talking about things I wanted to do and just not knowing how to do them, right? And after listing all these things I was frustrated about, I was like, I know what I need to do. I'm not doing it. And that's when I realized that we all know what we need to do to move forward. We all know what we need to do to progress, but we're the ones that step in our own way because we can't see the connection between that first step and our end goal. Or we can see the connection, but we're just not motivated enough to do it and stay consistent. And that could be turning on the camera, starting a YouTube channel, right? That could be creating music consistently. That could be going to the gym. Anything that needs you to take that first step and stay consistent. And this is why people start looking for quick fixes. And because of that perspective, those first steps that are necessary just seem pointless. That's why people don't do it. People leave it to the side, right? When you should be looking at those steps as bricks being laid, as the foundation that your goal, that your destiny is going to stand on in the future. So many times we get discouraged because we feel that things should be different. The Lord's given us this vision and it's just not come to pass yet. First of all, if the Lord's giving you a vision and your life doesn't look like that right now, you should rejoice because this is temporary, right? That's number one. Number two, are you writing your vision down and making it plain like the Bible says? Are you speaking life, or are you speaking doubt, fear, discouragement, and the opinions of other people? Are you in alignment with that timeline? Is every step you're taking now in alignment with that vision that the Lord has given to you? Have you made a plan? Have you counted the costs? Luke 14:28 says, if one of you wanted to build a large building, you would sit down first and think of how much money it would take to build it. You would see if you had enough money to finish it. Have you made a plan and worked backwards and said, this is the first step, the second step, and so on? These are the resources I need. And if you haven't, are you setting yourself up to fail? A lot of the times, for a lot of people, the answer is no. We haven't made a plan. We've not been diligent. We've not counted the costs. We're not speaking life. We're in fear. We're in doubt. We don't think it's going to come to pass, and we speak these things out into the world. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes to poverty. This definition of the word diligence in the Bible is described as steady application in business of any kind, constant effort to accomplish what is undertaken, which is different to toiling, which is to labor, to work, and to exert strength with pain and fatigue of the body or mind, particularly of the body, with effort of some continuance or duration. Two totally different approaches. And yes, we can have the faith, but are we putting in the work and for long enough to see the results come to pass? And if we're not, as a community, as a Christian community, are we not setting ourselves up to fail if we're not following these principles? We have to be diligent in everything we do, because you can do a lot of work for a long time with minimal results, or you can follow the principles in the Bible and stick to it long enough with a growth mindset, a long-term growth mindset, and see prosperity. Just a thought. Stay blessed.